My name is Miles McPherson. I'm the senior pastor of the Rock Church. Grew up in New York, Long Island. I was drafted to the Los Angeles Rams, played for the San Diego Chargers for 4 years. In my first 2 years, I was doing cocaine, chasing women, smoking marijuana, living wild. And then one day I decided, you know what, after being in the crack house, watching a guy make crack, watching my teammates smoke crack, his eyes roll back in his head, I said, I can't do this anymore. And that's when I decided to give my life to the Lord. I want my life to be a symbol of what everyone else's life can be, and that's someone who is lost that can be found.
That was Pastor Miles McPherson from the Rock Church in San Diego, who's going to be joining us today. He brought us a family who needed emotional help as well as medical help. Before we get to the bottom of their health issues, let's see what happened when Pastor Miles first got involved with their spiritual healing.
Every Sunday I speak to over 15,000 people, but today I'm going to spend my time listening to one family. Chuck and Francine have a lot of history of being separated and bitter at each other. She's wore out, he's wore out, and they've drifted apart, and they're on the verge of a divorce. Francine, why don't you go first and tell us how the marriage is today and how you see it, how you're experiencing it?
I believe that it's dead. My husband is self-absorbed, lazy, uninterested, selfish, and withdrawn. I feel depleted and I'm worn, but I still want to save it.
Emotional connection?
No emotional connection.
That's what's non-existent? Mm-hmm. Passion?
None.
So your tank is empty?
Empty.
What fills your tank?
I need him to be present.
You want quality time from your husband. The most common thread with people whose marriages are strained is that the couple stops serving each other. They start living selfishly. Francine and Chuck have stopped serving each other.
I feel rejected. There's times when I give up. Like I say, why am I even bothering?
What do you think you do that is negative towards him, that pushes him away?
A lot of time I'm not in a good mood.
And why is that?
Because I'm tired, working, coming home, house is a mess. And I'm still running around like a chicken with its head cut off after working all day.
You come home, usually there's an argument within 20 minutes, and it gets pretty bad. And she slams the doors all the way to the back of the house, and that's my cue to make myself invisible.
There's no connection.
And no, there's none.
Well, there can't be.
Why?
Under the circumstances.
What circumstances?
It just can't be.
Did something happen in your relationship?
I ended up having an emotional affair for the attention, and I got it.
So it started out emotional, then it went to physical? Mm-hmm. Chuck knows about that, obviously.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And that was how long ago?
Well, it was about 6 years ago. And then I did it again.
Same person?
No.
What did that do to you?
After thinking about it, a lot of it's my fault for letting it get that far. I was ignoring her.
I just felt like he was never really present or never really there.
It feels like it ruined the marriage to me. I feel like I've given up.
Have you forgiven her?
Well, I don't hold anything against her, but emotionally, there's always something there. It just is because...
You haven't forgotten?
No, I can't forget.
Do you not trust her like you did?
No.
There's a little mistrust, and is any bitterness in there?
Yeah.
Okay, so when we're unforgiving of someone and we're holding mistrust and anger, it kind of eats at us. It's like taking poison, hoping it's hurting the other person. So I want to give you an opportunity to say, and to make a decision that you are going to, once and for all, forgive her and forget it.
You know I love you with all. I try to do everything I can for it. I think I'm just a little lost. I love you.
I love you too. Do you forgive me?
I forgive you.
Do you believe him?
I do believe him.
Do you forgive yourself?
No.
Why?
I know that God forgives me. I know he does. Guess I just don't like myself very much.
Okay, if you're good enough for God, you have to be good enough for yourself. If you've confessed it to him, you have to let it go. Because that guilt that you feel is seeping out to your house. You're hurting yourself and everybody else. You have to forgive yourself and move on. Just look at me and say, God, please forgive me.
God, please forgive me.
Help me to forgive myself.
And help me to forgive myself.
Why was that hard for you to say it?
I don't know.
God, help me to forgive myself.
God, help me to forgive myself.
Your biggest weight seems to be that. Not him. It's that unforgiveness. From this point forward, you guys are going to serve each other. He's forgiven you.
Yeah.
We're going to walk in that forgiveness. If they could focus on serving each other and forgiving themselves and forgiving each other, I think their marriage will go a long way and improve drastically overnight.
Pastor Miles McPherson recently sat down with a couple. They were fighting for their marriage, but they also have a son who desperately needed help.
How you doing, Ben?
Our 31-year-old son lives home with Francine and I, and he has a 2-year-old son, so it's kind of changed our lives quite a bit.
How's your relationship with your parents?
It's not so great. Instead of us all being on the same team, it's kind of my mom against my dad and myself. You know, I've said a lot of stuff to my mom that I can never take back, that I really feel bad for. I physically fought my dad. I want you guys to know that I'm sorry. I wish I could take that stuff back.
Is there something that happened in your life that not only distanced you from God, but distanced you from even loving yourself?
Yeah, I was married, and the way that she left kind of just, it destroyed me. She left me a note in the car, and I didn't know how somebody could do that to somebody that they loved, you know, and I was embarrassed, I was ashamed. The way that I suppressed that was I turned to alcohol.
I'll just say it, your drinking is your worst enemy.
When I drink pretty good, about a 12-pack. I smoke about 3/4 of a pack a day. I need that every hour or so. I get out of breath easy. Putting on my socks, I get out of breath. I hate myself. I hate looking in the mirror. I'm fat. I feel ugly. I feel like a loser.
It seems like all these negative things happened to you and you took them personal and it became your shame. I'm a bad person, I'm ugly, I'm out of shape, I'm a failure. There's a difference between shame and guilt. Guilt is I did something wrong. Shame is I am something wrong. The good thing about guilt and shame is God can erase all of it and have you start over. So the $1 million question is, can you forgive yourself?
I can give it a real good shot.
That means when you look yourself in the mirror, you're not going to see the failure and the shameful person that you were feeling yesterday. That's going to be your decision. Ben, what I want you to do is I want you to do a start, stop, continue with yourself. I'm the mirror. Just talk to Ben and say, here's one thing I want you to start doing. There's one thing I want you to stop doing. And here's one thing I want you to continue to do. Okay? Can I pray for you all?
Yes.
When I look at Ben, I see a guy who's carrying a lot of shame. He feels like a failure. Yeah, he's done some things he shouldn't have done, but God's willing to look past that and move him past that. He's just got to accept that call and to be proactive about taking charge of his life. Amen.
Amen.
Please welcome Pastor Miles, Ben, Francine, and Chuck to the show. thank all four of you for being here. And one of the things we're highlighting with you, Pastor Miles, is just the overall connection between family dynamic, emotional health, physical health. It's all tied together. And we're going to talk a little bit about how when you bottle up all these emotions, what it does to your physical health. But how do you get people to open up those lines of communication when they've been broken down?
Well, first I pray that God would do something supernatural in their heart. But a lot of times we have problems with people. It's really a problem we have. It's not them, it's us. You know, we have insecurity, we have lack of forgiveness, you can't forgive yourself. And when we can focus on our own problems, then it opens us up to be able to reach out to people that we've been formerly estranged with. How's it been in the last couple of weeks since we met? How's the relationship been?
There's been some change.
Yeah, but it's improving.
But I know it's going to take a while. There was a huge actual disconnect. I actually prayed for an intervention before this all happened, just a couple weeks. I prayed because I was so stuck. I prayed for something to happen, and it did.
God gave you a national intervention.
That's right.
We ended the piece with the start, stop, continue with you, that you were going to start something, stop something, and continue something. Can you share with us what that was? What did you decide to start, stop, and continue?
Yeah, I've started taking more initiative in my life. I stopped treating life like it's a game. And I've just continued to love my parents the best that I can. Just be a good son.
We're back with Pastor Miles. He recently sat down with a family that needed some much-needed guidance. I want to address three things with each of you. Smoking is your big problem right now, right, health-wise?
Yes.
And Chuck, you're dealing with diabetes?
Yes, I am.
And would it be fair to say, Francine, that stress is a big player in your life?
Mm-hmm. But sleep deprivation.
So let me go through these one by one really quickly because, Ben, I brought something. This is not pleasant, but I want to share it with you because sometimes we need to startle someone. 1 in 5 deaths in the U.S. can be related back to tobacco. And I want to show you what you do to your lungs when you smoke a cigarette. Now, when you don't smoke, this is what a healthy lung looks like. I don't know if you want to hold it, Ben, but no?
Yeah, take a look at it.
I'm going to have Pastor Miles show it to you. Yeah, don't hold it without gloves, but that is a healthy lung, okay? This right here is the lung of a lifetime smoker.
Doesn't it look moldy and gunky?
This right here is the lung of someone who died of lung cancer. Do you see that mass right there? Mm-hmm. Smoking not only causes lung cancer, it causes lung disease. If you make the choice to stop smoking, your lungs can return to a healthier place, but this is a nice spongy lung, meaning it takes air in and exhales carbon dioxide without all the issues that these diseased lungs have. And
then when you're smoking, it's making it difficult for you to exercise.
Right.
And so I know I heard on there that you say that you feel fat.
Yeah.
You know, and we all have extra weight that we could possibly lose, and the best way to do it is just start going for a walk a day. Mm-hmm. So every time you think about taking a puff on a cigarette, just go for a walk. Get some air, get out, move those legs, and you'd be surprised at the end of the month how much weight you've lost just by doing that.
And then in addition, we talked about praying together, and I want to offer you an app for your phone called Miles a Minute. You get a minute video from me every single day.
Okay.
milesaminute.com, and you'll get that. And you can spend the time watching the video and then discussing. There's a little challenge question. You can discuss the video and how it spiritually applies to your life and pray together.
Now, Pastor Miles is going to have you praying together each day. And what I want you guys to do is each week, you need to start planning something fun to do, okay? Studies show time after time, couples, when they're in a position like this, you guys need to restart. Figure out why you fell in love with each other from the first place, why you made this commitment to make a life together. Find that stuff that you used to enjoy, plan for it, and have fun doing it. Before you know it, you'll like each other again. Wouldn't that be nice to just look across the table and be like, you know what, I love that woman, I love that man. You know, that's where you want to be.
And my prescription would follow that, which is just if you could commit to a few times a week going for a walk together. It addresses all the issues, takes away the urge to smoke, can help address your issues with diabetes, and walking has been shown to prolong people's life, gives you a chance to communicate, can decrease stress levels, being outside can actually improve your sleep when you go to bed at night. All these things together They are so very important. We do want to offer the three of you a jump start. Our friends at Anytime Fitness in Granite Bay, they're giving each of you a 1-year gym membership plus weekly personal training sessions.
Nice. And this would be great if you guys go together. Make this an event.
Together, you're gonna get some healthy meals for the next year. Bistro MD is giving each of you weekly meals for 1 whole year. They're delivered right to your door. These are healthy meals that are gonna help you get on the track to a better health. And lastly, we've also set you up with a licensed marriage and family therapist in your hometown. Her name is Suzette James. She's going to meet with each of you individually as well as together so you can continue to work on both your emotional bond while you're working on your health at the same time. And this is the start of a journey we hope has a happy ending.
Yes, I can see it. Congratulations for taking the first step. Thanks, Pastor Miles.
My pleasure.
I love it.
And Ben, if this did move you at all, we're gonna give you resources in your own town, connect you with someone who can help you quit smoking if that's something you choose to do.
That would be great. Thank you.
All right. One step at a time.